Hello everybody. If you're trying to become an approved driving instructor in the UK, it's a very straightforward process. This video will explain a step-by-step process of becoming an ADI or approved driving instructor in the UK so you can charge for the driving lessons. If you watch this video till the end, I'm very sure that you will save a lot of money. You do not have to pay, all your savings to the driving school offering these sort of courses starting from 2,500 to anywhere like 9 grand. It doesn't take that much money. It's a very simple process, as I said, and I will give you all the information in this video. Let's get into it. Now, the first step is that you check if you're eligible to become a driving instructor. How do we check that? The first requirement is you should be 21 years old. The second requirement is your driving license should be at least 3 years old. The third requirement is you should not have 5 or more penalty points on your license. The fourth requirement is you should not be banned from driving. DVSA can still refuse your application if you have been involved in a violent crimes or violent activities, or you are like banned from being around children. But if you think like you do not fall in these sort of categories, or you fall in that category of like, being 21 years old and your license is more than 3 years old, you can now move on to the next step. Now, the second step is you apply for your DBS. Now, to get a DBS check, you have to remember that you do not have to go on Google and write get a DBS check, because you will end up paying your money to, some random companies. No, you do not have to do that. All you have to do is go on Google and type become a driving instructor. Scroll down and you will get an option which says get a DBS check dash £8.22. That's the cheapest way to get the DBS check to become an approved driving instructor application process. The £8.22 is the cheapest. It's a bit different because you might have to take your documents to the post office and they will physically verify it for you. But then after that, you're all done. All you have to do is to wait for, for the results. You will get your DBS. And once you get your DBS, you can now apply to become a driving instructor. And now officially, this is apparently like the second option, but that will be, the first step towards becoming the driving instructor. Now, starting an application is really simple. Just below that get a DBS check option, you will see start your application. All you have to do is you have to click that option, fill in your information, give all the information. And remember, you cannot do it before getting your DBS, because that application will definitely ask you for your DBS certificate number. If you do not have the DBS certificate number, obviously you would not be able to actually finish your application. Remember one more thing, you do not have to get a new DBS if you already have one DBS which is dated within the last 3 months. So you can simply go ahead. You do not have to actually apply for a new DBS. You just have to give your certificate number, which also means if you have DBS which is dated within the last 3 months, you can start your application straight away and you can skip that process of getting a DBS check. So now, once you're done with that application, you just wait for the PRN number. What is PRN number? That's a personal reference number, which will actually, go on your profile as an ADI. So that PRN number is the most important thing. So remember, you will get your PRN number in, I would say, like 14 days. And once you get your PRN number, you're on to the next step. Now, the next step is the most important, where you normally pay a lot of money to driving schools, where they say like, yeah, you come to us, we are offering a course on £2,500, but now it's a Christmas deal. What we're going to do is we're going to give it to you in $1,699. Some companies say like, just give us 3 grand, like, we can. So all these driving schools, they just try to trap you, and they just try to just, get all your money at this stage. Remember, you do not have to spend all that money at this stage. You do not, please do not actually go for any driving school at this stage, because you do not have to do anything other than applying for your Part 1 test. Now, one more thing before I move on to booking your theory test. If you go on a gov.uk website, it also says get a trainer. Please do not get a trainer at this stage, because you do not need a trainer, because ADI theory test, which is a Part 1 theory test, it's very simple. It's just like normal theory test. Why do you need a trainer for that? So please do not pay to any driving school, offering you like the online resource, because the online resources are absolutely expensive. Now, what's the solution? The solution is you simply go on Google and type ADI Part 1 theory test, and you will get a lot of websites, a lot of apps, where it will tell you like, we have 1,000 questions and 700 questions, and it will be like cheap as hell. Like, literally it's starting from £7 a month or £7 for 3 months. So you simply go there, you just subscribe to whatever website you like, just take, a mock test or like, a practice test, and you understand like, yeah, this website is really cool. I should just get a subscription. All you have to spend is like on that website. That's it, like £7 or £12 or £20, whatever it is. If you like that website, you just go and, you just start doing your mock test. And these mock tests will, actually make you able to pass a theory test in like, first attempt. Well, I passed my theory test in the first attempt because it was super simple. I didn't have to go for, any trainer or any, driving school, like offering you like, some online learning portals and things like that, where you have to write a lot of rubbish. Why I'm saying this, because I know a website, I know a company that actually gives you an online portal. You go on online portal, and instead of like just preparing you for your ADI Part 1 test, it asks you to just like write essays there, like at least 250 characters. They give you a question. There is no need for that. Yes, there is another thing that you have to keep in mind, that if you are confused about some question, it's really, really good, because now you're becoming an ADI. You should know the highway code, the importance of highway code, like the importance of certain rules, and you should know like why certain rules were made. So you can simply do it online. And also you can actually get a book which is called like Driving Essentials, a book that you can actually order online from Amazon, but I will actually attach the link in this video as well, so you can just go ahead and prepare from there as well. So you do not need to pay to the driving schools. It's very simple that you actually prepare your test from online websites or like or apps, and you just like give their mock test, and you will be completely prepared. And I'm very, very sure, 100% sure, that you're going to pass in the first attempt. Now, again, coming back to the first point, like how do you book? It's a very simple process. It says like apply for your theory test, which would be ADI Part 1 theory test. It will be just like £81. You apply for your ADI test, you need your PRN number. Once you are done, you actually follow the rest of the steps that I told you. You simply prepare your test and you just show up, and definitely you're gonna pass. Now, one more important thing about ADI theory or Part 1 test, there is one section which is different from the normal theory test, which is about instruction abilities. So I would recommend you to invest some time, some energy, understanding the concept behind this section. So if you find any question in the apps or online material where it says something and you don't understand the concept, this is the era of ChatGPT. Please put that question in ChatGPT and actually learn what it is about. So this is just a tip. Now, moving on to the third step. Once you get your result, which you normally get on the same day when you go for your theory test. If you pass, which I'm pretty sure that you will pass in your first attempt if you invest some time, obviously, on the online materials, all you have to do is, as soon as you're out of the test center, sit in your car or the bus stop, wherever you are, and apply for your driving test. It's straight away. You do not have to come back. You do not have to wait. You do not have to announce on Facebook and wait for people to just congratulate you. The most important thing in your life should be that you apply for your driving test. Now, how do you apply for the driving test? You still go to you would now again go to the same gov.uk website, and you follow the steps, and you will see like book a driving test, and now pay their fee and apply sign up for the driving test. So now you have to book your ADI Part 2 test, which is a driving test. You have to just come out. What you have to do is go back to the same gov.uk website. But remember one more thing, you might not be able to find, the test dates. All you have to do is book the test on hold. And if you don't know how to put the test on hold, please let me know. I'll make another video on it. But you just book your test on hold and now wait. During this time, you just practice with your mates. You just call your friends, you just practice, you watch a lot of YouTube video, because this is a very, very simple driving test, but now you have to actually show advanced sort of qualities, or advanced sort of skills of, driving, to be very fair. So that's all about it. But do not get confused that it's different from a normal driving test. It will be tougher than the normal driving test. It's absolute rubbish. Now, the only important thing is it's a normal driving test, but the examiner will look at you as a future driving instructor. So you have to show some advanced sort of qualities. And if you're a careful driver, you will easily pass this test. That's it. So until this stage, you have invested, or you have actually, paid for your DBS check, £8.22. You have paid for your theory test, like Part 1 test, and then you have paid for your the driving test, which is an ADI Part 2 test. Until this stage, you have not paid to any driving school. Now we move on to the third step, which is getting your trainee license. Now the next step is that you need a trainee license. Now, how do you get the trainee license? For that, you need to have a 40 hours worth of training from an approved driving instructor, once again, who is actually licensed to train the trainers as well. How do we do that? Now, my recommendation is you look around and you find out, like, some local instructors, like, working independently. They do not have massive business, because if you will work with massive business, the first thing is they will try to charge you fortune. If not, then they will have some sort of agreement for you ready, absolutely ready. Like, yes, we can give you the training for free. What you have to do is, once you qualify or once you become an ADI, like a full ADI, you'll have to work with us, and you'll have to pay us like £100 of like franchise fee every week, regardless if you're working, if you're not working, your holidays, you're sick. So please do not give your money to like these massive companies. I do not want to name companies, but they're gonna rip you off and you will regret it later. Instead of that, I would recommend you to go to the local trainer who would not try to rip you off. He will simply tell you the charge of his training, and once he would give you the training, you can simply forward your forms to DVSA and secure your training license. Now, once you secure your training license, which is valid for 6 months, you can give driving lessons, but you cannot market yourself, which means you cannot go online on Facebook or Instagram, announcing yourself as a driving instructor, and offering people some driving lessons, because you have not passed ADI Part 3 test, which is the most important thing, to market yourself. Without that, without passing ADI Part 3 test, remember, you are not a full driving instructor. You are still a trainee driving instructor. Now, what happens at this stage? Ideally, your trainers, your ADI, your trainer will offer you a sort of option, like, it's usually a part of package. When you pay them to train you for ADI Part 3 test, they tell you like they will give you some of the students where you can actually train yourself during the process, because it's all included, because now you're training yourself and you have paid for that training. So now he gives you pupil for driving lessons, and now you train them, and at the same time you're training yourself as well. Now the assessment thing goes on at the same time, where your driving instructor can sit at the back seat of your car, and he can assess you, and he can let you know when you're ready for Part 3 test, ADI Part 3 test, which will actually make you a full ADI. Remember one thing, that your ADI, like your trainer, has to be satisfied that you can apply for the ADI Part 3 test. And 6 months, I guess it's enough time. If you get like enough number of people for driving lessons, I guess like it's enough time in which you can train yourself, and you should be ready for ADI Part 3 test. So now once you are ready, your driving instructor, your trainer tells you that you're ready, you just simply go and you apply for your ADI Part 3 test. It has to be before 6 months, but if you need to extend it more than 6 months, you have to write to the DVSA, and then you just get it extended some time, but you cannot extend it for more than 2 years. So ideally, what you should do is you should prepare yourself in the first 6 months, and you just give your ADI Part 3 test so you can become a full ADI quickly, or soon as possible. And that's it. Once you are done with your ADI Part 3 test, then now you are a full ADI. Congratulations. And now you can independently run your business. You can market yourself. You can just give driving lessons to anyone you want. So that's the whole process, everybody. I told you like where to start from, where you end, and now you're a full-time driving instructor. You can just do whatever you want. Please do not do any contract with any big driving school before you pass your ADI Part 3 test and you feel like, yeah, okay, this is something that will work for me. They're offering like a lot of support. Please do not do that. It's a trap. It's a massive trap, but I will make a separate video. If you like this video and if you have any concerns, please mention your concerns in the comment section and we will discuss more about it, or maybe I'll make another video, if it needs, let's say like if your question needs explanation. Well, thank you very much for watching.